Eat 1 spoon of raw honey every morning and this will happen. Honey is a natural sweet substance produced by honeybees, primarily Apis mellifera, from the nectar of flowers. It has been consumed by humans for thousands of years and is not only valued for its sweet taste but also for its various health benefits, culinary versatility, and other practical uses. Here are some key aspects to understand about honey. The production of honey involves a complex process that begins with honeybees collecting nectar from flowers and ends with the storage of honey in beehives. Here's a more detailed explanation of the honey production process. Foraging for nectar. Honeybees, primarily Apis mellifera, are responsible for honey production. Worker bees leave the hive and visit flowers to collect nectar. They use their long, tube-like tongues, proboscises, to suck nectar from the blossoms. Nectar collection. Bees collect nectar in their honey stomachs, a separate compartment from their digestive stomach. This specialized stomach allows them to store the nectar temporarily while they continue foraging. Enzymatic changes. Enzymes in the bee's honey stomach begin to break down the complex sugars in the nectar, primarily sucrose, into simpler sugars like glucose and fructose. This enzymatic process starts the conversion of nectar into honey. Returning to the hive. After foraging and collecting nectar, bees return to their hive with the nectar-filled honey stomachs. Honeycomb filling. Inside the beehive, worker bees transfer the collected nectar to other worker bees who process it further. They pass the nectar from bee to bee through regurgitation until it's deposited into the honeycomb cells. Evaporation and dehydration. Once in the honeycomb cells, the nectar undergoes further processing. Worker bees fan their wings over the nectar to speed up the evaporation of water from it. This evaporation process reduces the water content of the nectar from around 70 to 80% to less than 20%. The lower water content is crucial for long-term honey preservation. Sealing the cells. When the bees determine that the moisture content is sufficiently reduced, they seal the honeycomb cells with beeswax. This seals the honey inside, protecting it from environmental factors and preserving it. Ripening and maturation. The sealed honeycomb cells are left to ripen and mature inside the beehive. During this time, enzymes continue to convert the sugars, and the honey's flavor and consistency develop. Harvesting. Beekeepers, when ready to harvest honey, remove the honeycomb frames from the beehive. They carefully cut or uncap the wax seals to expose the honey. Extraction. To extract the honey, beekeepers use various methods, such as centrifugal force or pressing, to separate the honey from the wax comb. Filtering and bottling. The extracted honey may go through filtering to remove any remaining impurities or bits of wax. It is then bottled for sale and consumption. Storage. Honey has a long shelf life due to its low moisture content and acidic pH, which inhibit the growth of microorganisms. It is typically stored in airtight containers to prevent moisture absorption and crystallization. It's important to note that the flavor, color, and aroma of honey can vary depending on the types of flowers the bees collected nectar from, leading to a wide variety of honey varieties with distinct characteristics. Honey production is a fascinating and intricate process that highlights the remarkable abilities of honeybees and their importance in agriculture and ecosystems. Honey comes in various varieties, and the characteristics of honey can vary significantly depending on the types of flowers or plants from which the bees collected nectar. These floral sources impart unique flavors, colors, and aromas to the honey. Here are some common honey varieties. Clover honey. One of the most widely available and popular varieties. Typically light in color and mild in flavor with a pleasing, floral sweetness. Derived from the nectar of clover flowers. Wildflower honey. As the name suggests, this honey comes from a variety of wildflowers. It can have a diverse range of flavors and colors, often with a slightly more robust taste than clover honey. Acacia honey. Acacia honey is light in color and mild in flavor. It has a high fructose content, which means it resists crystallization for a long time. Acacia trees produce pale, fragrant blossoms that bees are attracted to. Manuka honey. Originally from New Zealand and Australia, Manuka honey has gained popularity for its potential health benefits. It comes from the nectar of the Manuka tree's blossoms and is known for its unique, earthy flavor. Manuka honey is often graded using a unique Manuka factor (UMF) rating to indicate its medicinal properties. Orange blossom honey. Collected from the nectar of orange tree blossoms. It has a citrusy aroma and a light, sweet flavor with subtle floral notes. Lavender honey. Made from the nectar of lavender flowers. It has a delicate floral aroma and a slightly herbal, lavender-infused taste. Buckwheat honey. Dark and robust in both color and flavor. Often described as having molasses or malty undertones. Buckwheat flowers are the source of nectar for this honey. Eucalyptus honey. Comes from the nectar of eucalyptus tree blossoms. Known for its medicinal properties and strong, slightly medicinal taste with hints of menthol. Chestnut honey. Dark and intense, chestnut honey has a bold, bittersweet flavor. It is made from the nectar of chestnut tree blossoms. Heather honey. Heather plants provide nectar for this honey variety. It is often dark and has a strong, slightly smoky, and herbal taste. These are just a few examples, and there are countless other honey varieties from different floral sources around the world. The unique characteristics of each honey variety make them ideal for different culinary applications and can add depth and complexity to various dishes and beverages. When choosing honey, consider the flavor profile that best suits your needs, whether it's for sweetening, cooking, or enjoying on its own. Honey is a complex natural substance with a composition that goes beyond its primary components of sugars. Its composition can vary depending on the floral source and other factors, but here are the main constituents typically found in honey. Sugars. The primary components of honey are sugars, which make up the majority of its composition. The two main sugars in honey are glucose, a simple sugar that is a major component of honey. Fructose, another simple sugar and the most abundant sugar in honey. It gives honey its sweetness. Water. Honey contains a variable amount of water, typically ranging from 14% to 20%. The water content can affect the honey's consistency and shelf life. Lower water content leads to a thicker, less prone to crystallization honey. Other carbohydrates. Honey may contain small amounts of other carbohydrates, such as maltose, sucrose, and small traces of other sugars. Proteins. Honey contains small amounts of proteins, including enzymes like invertase, which helps break down sucrose into glucose and fructose. These enzymes play a role in the transformation of nectar into honey. Amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, and they are present in trace amounts in honey. Vitamins. Honey contains small quantities of various vitamins, including vitamin C, vitamin B complex, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantothenic acid, and vitamin B6, and small amounts of vitamin K. Minerals. Honey contains trace minerals such as calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, and zinc. The mineral content can vary depending on the floral source. Antioxidants. Honey is known to contain antioxidants, which can help protect cells from oxidative stress. These antioxidants include flavonoids and polyphenol. Phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are naturally occurring compounds in plants that have health benefits. Honey can contain various phytonutrients, again depending on the floral source. Acids. Honey has a slightly acidic pH, typically ranging from 3.2 to 4.5, which helps inhibit the growth of microorganisms and contributes to its long shelf life. Flavor compounds. Honey's flavor is influenced by a variety of volatile compounds, such as alcohols, aldehydes, esters, and terpenes. These compounds give different honey varieties their unique aromas and flavors. Pollen. Small amounts of pollen from the flowers the bees visited can be found in honey. This can be used to identify the floral source of honey. It's important to note that the composition of honey can vary widely based on factors such as the types of flowers visited by bees, geographical location, and beekeeping practices. The unique combination of these components in honey gives it its distinct flavor, color, and potential health benefits. Honey is not just a delicious natural sweetener, it also offers several potential health benefits when consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet. Keep in mind that the health benefits of honey can vary depending on its quality and source. Here are some of the potential health benefits associated with honey. Antioxidant properties. Honey contains various antioxidants, including flavonoids and polyphenol, which can help protect cells from oxidative stress. Antioxidants have been linked to reducing the risk of chronic diseases and promoting overall health. Wound healing. Honey has been used for centuries as a topical treatment for wounds and burns. It has natural antibacterial properties and can help promote wound healing and reduce the risk of infection. Sore throat relief. Honey is a common home remedy for soothing sore throats and coughs. It can help coat the throat and alleviate irritation, making it a popular ingredient in throat lozenges and cough syrups. Cough suppressant. Some studies suggest that honey can be as effective as over-the-counter cough medications in reducing the frequency and severity of coughing, particularly in children. It is often recommended as a natural remedy for coughs. Improved sleep. Consuming honey before bedtime, either on its own or mixed with warm milk or herbal tea, may promote better sleep. Honey can help increase the availability of tryptophan, an amino acid that is a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, both of which are involved in sleep regulation. Digestive health. Honey may have mild laxative effects and can help relieve occasional constipation when consumed in moderate amounts. It can also promote the growth of beneficial gut bacteria. Energy boost. The natural sugars in honey, primarily glucose and fructose, provide a quick source of energy. Athletes often use honey as a natural energy gel during endurance activities. Skin health. Honey is sometimes used in skincare products due to its potential to moisturize and soothe the skin. It may help with conditions like dry or irritated skin when applied topically. Allergy symptom relief. Some people believe that consuming local honey can help reduce allergy symptoms by exposing the body to small amounts of local pollen. However, scientific evidence supporting this claim is limited. Weight management. Compared to refined sugars, honey has a lower glycemic index, which means it may have a milder impact on blood sugar levels. However, it is not a low-calorie food, so moderation is essential when using honey as a sweetener. It's important to note that while honey offers potential health benefits, it is still a source of calories and sugars. Excessive consumption of honey can lead to weight gain and may negatively affect blood sugar control, especially in individuals with diabetes. Additionally, honey should not be given to infants under 1 year of age due to the risk of botulism. Individual responses to honey can vary, and it is advisable to consult with a healthcare professional before using honey for specific health purposes, especially if you have underlying medical conditions or allergies. Honey is a versatile ingredient in the kitchen, prized for its natural sweetness, distinctive flavor, and various culinary applications. Here are some common culinary uses of honey. Sweetener. One of the most straightforward uses of honey is as a natural sweetener. You can drizzle honey over foods like yogurt, oatmeal, pancakes, waffles, and fruits to add a touch of sweetness. Baking. Honey is often used in baking to sweeten and moisten recipes. It can be substituted for sugar in many recipes, but adjustments may be needed because it has a different moisture content. Honey is commonly used in making cakes, cookies, muffins, and bread. Marinades and glazes. Honey's sweetness and natural stickiness make it an excellent choice for marinades and glazes. It can be mixed with other ingredients like soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, and herbs to create flavorful coatings for meats, poultry, seafood, and vegetables. Salad dressings. Honey is a key ingredient in many salad dressings, where it adds sweetness and balances the acidity of ingredients like vinegar or citrus. It pairs well with vinaigrettes and can be used in both green and fruit salads. Sauces and condiments. Honey can be used to make a variety of sauces and condiments, including barbecue sauce, honey mustard, honey butter, and honey syrup for pancakes and French toast. Tea and beverages. Honey is a popular natural sweetener for hot and cold beverages. It can be stirred into tea, coffee, and herbal infusions or used to sweeten smoothies and cocktails. Desserts. Honey can be a star ingredient in desserts. It's used to make items like honey cake, baklava, honeycomb candy, and honey-sweetened ice creams and sorbets. Cheese pairing. Honey pairs wonderfully with various cheeses, creating a sweet and savory combination. Drizzle honey over a cheese platter or serve it alongside blue cheese, brie, or goat cheese. Honeycomb. Some people enjoy eating honeycomb, which is honey in its pure, comb-shaped form. It can be eaten on its own, spread on bread or crackers, or used as a garnish for desserts and cheese plates. Preserves and jams. Honey can be used as a natural sweetener in homemade fruit preserves and jams. Its unique flavor can complement the fruit's taste. Homemade granola. Many homemade granola recipes incorporate honey to bind the ingredients together and provide sweetness. It creates a crunchy and flavorful coating for granola clusters. Asian and Middle Eastern cuisine. Honey is a common ingredient in Asian and Middle Eastern cuisine. It's used in dishes like honey sesame chicken, honey glazed roasted vegetables, and desserts such as baklava and ma'amul cookies. Mead production. Mead is an alcoholic beverage made from fermented honey and water. It has a long history and is still produced by some craft brewers and meaderies. When using honey in recipes, consider the honey's flavor profile and how it will complement other ingredients. Additionally, honey should be stored properly in a sealed container at room temperature to prevent crystallization and preserve its quality for culinary purposes. Honey is known for its long shelf life due to its low moisture content and acidic pH, which create an environment that inhibits the growth of microorganisms. Proper storage is essential to maintain the quality and prevent crystallization. Here's how to store honey and address crystallization if it occurs. Storage. Container. Store honey in an airtight container, preferably a glass jar or a plastic container with a tight-fitting lid. Avoid using metal containers as honey can react with some metals over time. Temperature. Keep honey at room temperature, ideally between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius and 21 degrees Celsius. Avoid exposing it to extreme heat or cold, as this can affect its texture and flavor. Moisture. Ensure the container is tightly sealed to prevent moisture from entering, as excess moisture can promote fermentation. Darkness. Protect honey from direct sunlight, as exposure to UV light can cause it to darken and deteriorate in quality over time. Dry spoon. Always use a clean, dry spoon when scooping honey to prevent introducing moisture into the container. Crystallization. Honey can naturally crystallize over time, turning from a liquid state to a semi-solid or granulated form. This is a normal process and does not indicate spoilage. Crystallization occurs when glucose in the honey forms solid crystals. If your honey crystallizes, here's how to address it. Warm water bath. Place the container of crystallized honey in a bowl of warm water, not boiling, or run warm water over it. Gently stir the honey until it returns to a liquid state. Avoid heating honey directly, as high temperatures can affect its flavor and nutritional properties. Microwave method. If you prefer to use a microwave, transfer a small amount of crystallized honey to a microwave-safe container. Heat it in short intervals, using low power or the defrost setting. Stir between intervals until the honey is liquid again. Slow and steady. Allow honey to naturally return to a liquid state by leaving it at room temperature for a few days to weeks, depending on the extent of crystallization. This method may take time but preserves the honey's flavor and quality. Storing in a warm place. If you live in a region with a colder climate and want to prevent crystallization, store honey in a slightly warmer place, like a kitchen cabinet or pantry, rather than in a cold storage area. Consider creamed honey. Some people prefer the texture of creamed honey, which is intentionally crystallized to create a smooth, spreadable consistency. You can buy creamed honey or make your own by gently stirring crystallized honey until it reaches the desired texture. Remember that crystallization is a natural process and does not affect the safety or taste of honey. Honey can be safely consumed in its crystallized form or returned to a liquid state using the methods mentioned above. Sustainability and responsible beekeeping practices are essential for the well-being of honeybee populations, the preservation of pollination services for agriculture, and the production of high-quality honey. Here's an overview of sustainability in beekeeping and its importance. 1. Bee health and welfare. Sustainable beekeeping prioritizes the health and welfare of honeybee colonies. This includes monitoring and managing hive health, addressing diseases and pests, and providing proper nutrition to ensure strong and resilient bee populations. 2. Habitat preservation. Protecting and preserving natural habitats is critical for honeybee sustainability. Bees rely on a diverse range of flowering plants for nectar and pollen. Sustainable practices involve maintaining and restoring bee-friendly habitats by planting pollinator-friendly flowers and avoiding the use of harmful pesticides. 3. Responsible pesticide use. Beekeepers should use pesticides, including insecticides and herbicides, responsibly. Avoiding or minimizing the use of pesticides that are harmful to bees is crucial for their survival. Integrated pest management (IPM) techniques can be employed to reduce the need for chemical treatments. 4. Antibiotic use. Responsible antibiotic use in beekeeping is essential to combat diseases while minimizing the development of antibiotic-resistant strains. Beekeepers should follow veterinary guidelines and regulations when treating bee colonies with antibiotics. 5. Genetic diversity. Maintaining genetic diversity within bee populations helps increase their resilience to diseases and environmental changes. Sustainable beekeeping practices may involve promoting genetic diversity through controlled breeding programs. 6. Hive management. Proper hive management includes practices such as hive inspection, monitoring for pests and diseases, and ensuring adequate nutrition for the bees. Sustainable beekeepers prioritize the well-being of the bees while optimizing honey production. 7. Beekeeper education. Ongoing education and training for beekeepers are essential for sustainable practices. Keeping up to date with the latest research and best practices ensures that beekeepers can adapt to changing environmental conditions and challenges. 8. Sustainable beekeeping equipment. The use of sustainable materials and practices in beekeeping equipment and hive construction can reduce the environmental impact of beekeeping operations. 9. Local honey production. Supporting local honey production can be more sustainable than importing honey from distant regions. Local beekeepers often have a better understanding of the local ecosystem and can contribute to pollinator health and habitat preservation. 10. Beekeeper collaboration. Collaboration among beekeepers, researchers, policymakers, and environmental organizations is vital for developing and implementing sustainable practices. Sharing knowledge and experiences can lead to more effective strategies for honeybee conservation. 11. Public awareness. Raising public awareness about the importance of bees and pollinators in food production and ecosystems is crucial. Educating consumers about the benefits of supporting sustainable beekeeping practices can lead to greater demand for responsibly produced honey and bee products. Sustainable beekeeping not only benefits honeybees and the environment but also plays a significant role in ensuring global food security. Bees are essential pollinators for many crops, and their decline can have far-reaching impacts on agriculture and biodiversity. Therefore, efforts to promote sustainability in beekeeping are critical for both ecological and economic reasons. Ethical considerations in beekeeping revolve around the treatment of honeybees, their well-being, and the environmental impact of beekeeping practices. Here are some important ethical considerations in beekeeping. Bee health and welfare. Beekeepers have a responsibility to prioritize the health and welfare of their honeybee colonies. This includes providing suitable hive conditions, managing pests and diseases, and ensuring bees have access to adequate nutrition. Humane treatment. Ethical beekeeping practices involve treating bees humanely and minimizing stress during hive inspections and honey harvesting. Techniques should be gentle, and protective gear should be used to prevent harm to both bees and beekeepers. Avoiding harmful practices. Practices that harm bees or disrupt their natural behaviors should be avoided. This includes using chemicals that are harmful to bees, excessive hive manipulation, or practices that lead to overharvesting. Minimizing stress. Beekeepers should strive to minimize stress on the bees, as stressed bees are more susceptible to diseases and pests. Limiting disturbances, providing consistent food sources, and managing colonies appropriately are ways to achieve this. Pesticide and antibiotic use. Ethical beekeeping involves responsible use of pesticides and antibiotics. Beekeepers should follow regulations and best practices for their use to avoid harming bees and contributing to the development of antibiotic-resistant strains. Genetic diversity. Maintaining genetic diversity within honeybee populations is important for their long-term health. Beekeepers should avoid practices that lead to the homogenization of bee genetics. Environmental impact. Beekeeping can have environmental impacts, such as habitat alteration and pesticide runoff. Ethical beekeepers consider the environmental consequences of their practices and aim to minimize negative effects. Bee swarming. When bees swarm, it's a natural reproductive behavior. Ethical beekeepers should not prevent swarming or destroy swarms but rather attempt to capture and relocate them, contributing to bee population sustainability. Responsible marketing. Beekeepers should be truthful and transparent in their marketing and labeling of honey and other bee products. Misleading claims or adulteration of products can harm consumers and the reputation of ethical beekeeping. Local beekeeping practices. Supporting local beekeepers who practice ethical and sustainable beekeeping can be an ethical choice for consumers. This supports responsible beekeeping practices in your community. Education and awareness. Beekeepers should engage in education and awareness efforts to promote understanding and appreciation of bees and pollinators. This can help foster a culture of responsible beekeeping and environmental stewardship. Collaboration and research. Ethical beekeepers often collaborate with researchers and organizations working on bee conservation and sustainability. Contributing to research and sharing knowledge can lead to improved ethical practices. Ethical beekeeping is not only about the humane treatment of bees but also about considering the broader ecological and environmental impacts of beekeeping practices. By following ethical guidelines, beekeepers can contribute to the well-being of honeybee populations, promote biodiversity, and ensure the sustainability of this vital pollinator species. Consumers can also support ethical beekeeping by making informed choices when purchasing honey and bee products. In summary, honey is a natural sweet substance with a rich history and a wide range of applications, from culinary uses to potential health benefits. Its flavor and characteristics can vary depending on the source of the nectar, making it a diverse and fascinating natural product. However, it's important to use honey in moderation and consider ethical and environmental factors when purchasing it.